Hey guys, time for a news dump. Ricky? No! He doesn't feel so good. Okay, so actually Ricky is not available to film today. And I also waited too long to actually try and find a real person to fill in for him. So then I remembered, hey, I already have everything I need to film right here in my house, including a green screen, so I can be anywhere and everywhere. So here we are. This is the first ever solo Internet Today episode ever. A single serving solo dump. So let's get to the news. First things first, a quick update on what's turned into a constantly recurring topic on this channel, Moviepass. Specifically, how the hell they plan on getting out of the hole that they have intentionally dug themselves into. Earlier this week, we found out that Moviepass was just going to nerf the hell out of their system by allowing only 3 movies a month and heavily restricting new releases and restricting which theaters you can actually go to. Still a decent deal though, just not the ridiculous deal that got people to sign up with them in the first place. It's a good deal overall, but an absolutely shit deal compared to what they offered just a few months back. And this, folks, is why you should always under-promise and over-deliver, not the opposite. Anyway, that original Too Good to Be True Moviepass experience was, of course, too good to be true, as in they were basically just burning money, trying to keep the lights on while they figure out how to actually turn a profit. And, even with all these new changes, they're still burning money. They're just doing it kind of slower, one bill at a time, instead of just chucking the whole bag in. But remember, guys, movie tickets aren't Moviepass's only source of revenue, though, to be fair, the movie tickets are kind of like the opposite of revenue. They're just sucking money out of them. Whatever. Moviepass, they bought up a movie studio a little while back, and Moviepass Ventures LLC, that studio, they have now announced their first project, which is a movie called 10 Minutes Gone, starring Bruce Willis as a bank robber who loses 10 minutes of his memory thanks to being shot by a stray bullet during a heist that goes wrong. Okay, cool, yeah, Bruce Willis, hell yeah. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, we all love Die Hard, of course. But if you look at Bruce Willis's recent filmography, it becomes clear that Bruce Willis only really cares about getting paid these days. I mean, just look at this shit. Direct to DVD, direct to VOD. Yeah, I mean, he's in that Unbreakable sequel coming out next year, hooray. But aside from that, his career is starting to resemble Steven Seagal's, which is sad. Oh, also, guess who made most of those direct-to-the-dumpster Bruce Willis movies from the last couple years? It was Emmett Furla Oasis Films, which just happens to be the company that is now known as Moviepass Ventures. So yeah, they're also the company that released Gotti earlier this summer, and yeah, not great. Even with fake Rotten Tomatoes reviews, still not great. So can Bruce Willis save Moviepass? I would not bet on it, no. But anyway, let's crawl out of the bargain bin and back up to the top shelf, everyone, because the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, aka the Oscar people, they made an announcement this week that has elicited a whole spectrum of reactions. Mostly negative. They've added a whole new category. Ooh, is it stunts? Is it voice acting? Is it choreography? Is it something more genre-based like the way the Golden Globes do it? No. It is a new category being designed around achievement in popular film. Now, I haven't actually elaborated on what that means, but so far the general assumption is that it'll be like the nice convenient category where they can put superhero movies, action movies, horror movies, and comedies. Basically, the movies most people pay money to see. You know, the kind of movies where fans and critics, or at least critics who are under the age of 60, can say, wow, that was great, and it should totally get nominated for an Oscar, but, it won't. Well, now maybe it could, I guess. People are dogging on this idea pretty hard on social media, and for some pretty good reasons. First off, the award for successful popular films is usually millions and millions of dollars. I mean, it's a reward in itself. But also, it kind of seems like an easy way for the Academy to give an Oscar to something like Black Panther, while saying, look, see, we care about black people and nerds. We gave Black Panther an Oscar. Well, no, not a real Oscar, but I mean, you get it. Now, my personal opinion, based on absolutely nothing, since they really haven't elaborated on how this category is going to actually work, is that it might be a good thing. Might not be. I mean, just off the top of my head, 3 damn good movies from the last decade or so that I personally would have probably given a big gold Best Picture trophy to would have been The Dark Knight, Mad Max Fury Road, and Get Out. Now, to be fair, the Academy did throw each of those a Best Picture nomination, which was great. Thank you. But, everyone fucking knew there was no chance in hell any of those movies were actually gonna get Best Picture, just given how kind of old and stuffy and lily-white and predictable the Oscar voters are. The Academy, though, they did make clear in this new announcement that a movie could get nominated for both Best Picture and Best Popular Film. So, at least in theory, the new category wouldn't just be like a convenient place to shove away the movies that normal people actually like so that they can have all the normal Oscar shit over here. I don't know. Whether this actually turns out to be the case in practice is anyone's guess. The bottom line here, though, is that viewership for the Oscars, which is a TV program, that's what it is at the end of the day, viewership has gone down for the last 4 years in a row. That means less money. One reason for why viewership's gone down, it might be that out of all the major categories, most casual moviegoers have only seen 1 or 2 or 3 of those movies, or just none. There's a reason that some movies get described as Oscar bait. It's because the Oscars, like any creepy old man, has a type. And that type is usually historical movies, biopics, bleak dramas, big expensive musicals. Lots of good shit in there. Plenty of good movies, but not exactly the kind of stuff that gets people stoked to go to the theater, and by extension, not exactly the kind of stuff that gets people stoked to watch the Oscars. So if that Oscar bait bias is ever going to go away, it's also going to take just a really long time. It's going to be really gradual. Academy membership is for life, unless you're literally a rapist. In the meantime, this new category, at least in the Academy's eyes, might get more people to actually tune in. Might not, but they're taking a gamble, because at the end of the day, it's all about ratings. It's all about how many commercials played during it and how much they get paid for that. Speaking of which, they're also going to trim down the actual Oscars broadcast, not by cutting down on the bullshit skits and gags. No, we need all those. They're going to be handing out some of the lesser categories, during commercial breaks. Because who gives a shit about editing, right? Come on. Oh wait, actual cinephiles care about that? Well, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to read about it in the morning. In other news, let's see. Oh, hey, look, Idris Elba's gonna be the next James Bond. Woo! No, he's not. Okay. Well, in any case, I think he'd be great at it. It's not like there's ever been any real continuity in this series, which features the main character changing actors every couple movies for the last half century. Of course, there are plenty of people out there who are gonna say, but wait, James Bond is white. To which I say, James Bond isn't real. He's an ageless, shape-shifting character who has been played by many fine actors. They just happen to all be white. Anytime the issue of race-bending a white character into a non-white character comes up, people bitch about, why does it have to be about race? Why not just cast the best actor for the role? Okay, I hear you, but I also kind of think Idris Elba might actually be the best actor for the role. And a lot of other people think so too. But also, I don't really care that much. The last few Bond movies have been very boring. It might be a franchise that, isn't really fit for the modern world when you got stuff like Mission Impossible and Bourne. In other news that's actually fully double confirmed, Patrick Stewart is apparently going to be starring in a new Star Trek series as the iconic character Captain Jean-Luc Picard, which is a role that he last played all the way back in 2002, which even then was 8 years after the end of Star Trek The Next Generation. So he's been Picard for a while, and now look, I'm no Trekkie, but I do fondly remember watching TNG as a kid with my dad and really enjoying it. And I also just really like Patrick Stewart. I've interviewed him a few times for videos that are now apparently erased from the internet. And he's just a really cool dude, in addition to being a talented actor. Generally, these days, when I hear about something from the 90s being brought back for nostalgia's sake, I feel pretty much nothing inside. But for this one, I'm actually fully on board, and I imagine that the actual Trekkies out there are in a state of pure ecstasy. They've probably had an erection lasting multiple days and should see a doctor. So to them I say, may the force be with you. Alright, anyway, time for trailers, or rather trailer, because once again this week, there was basically no movie or TV trailer that I gave a shit about, but that's fine. Because guys, we got Rockstar's first gameplay trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2, and holy tarnation, does this look just good as hell. My God. First off, this world is absolutely gorgeous in these current gen, console graphics, and you can just feel how much work went into this. Yes, this is all gameplay footage that the developer is choosing to show us, but it's also 6 whole minutes, and it's the first of multiple long-form videos that they're going to be putting out leading up to the release date. So they seem to have a lot of faith in their product, and yeah, it definitely shows. If you can, I highly recommend watching this trailer in its full 4K glory on a big TV or gaming monitor. It is gorgeous. It's beautiful. I'm still a little annoyed they haven't announced anything about a PC release yet, and they might not release it on PC at all, which would be a mistake. But this looks good enough to maybe even dust off that PS4 that I haven't touched in 6 months. In between this and the new Spider-Man game and the God of War, which I haven't played yet, and it's probably about time for me to give the old PS4 another chance. Anyway, that's it for the news. I promise, guys, I swear on Monday we will be back to our old, safe, familiar, comfortable format of filming with 2 hosts in front of a brick wall. I know how much you hate change. I'm sorry. I can feel your comments. In the meantime, though, if you haven't already, check out a new episode of Weekly Weird News that for some reason features a lot of stories about old people, and watch our episode from a few days back about Luigi being brutally murdered, along with an argument about whether he's Mario's brother or his gay lover, or both. And, oh hey, stay tuned for a new episode of Idiots Watching Anime in the next couple days, depending on how I feel. See you next time. Bye-bye.